What's your selection process on? I know you have King Kong Ortiz coming up, but who would you like to see out of Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua win their next fight so you can face them in the unification?
I mean, I like Andy Ruiz. I liked him in the first fight, and I like him in the second fight as well. In my opinion, I think it's an even more bigger fight, you know, here in the, you know, between the two. You know, especially how he won the first time. Yeah, it's all going to determine how if he's able to win the second time. You know, with Joshua, you know, we tried many times to get that fight unfold, to make a dream fight happen, you know, for the fans, to unify the division, to have one champion, one face, one name. And as you can see, that was a long process, a process where, you know, we had you know, different mile markers being stretched. Once we completed, we had to do something else. We had to do this, you know what I mean? It was a lot. You know, this is a gladiator sport. This is a man's sport, and I'm a grown man. I don't have time for games. Being that Ruiz is under the same stable as much easier fight to make, and I think an even more exciting fight as well.
Wow, do you think Andy wins the rematch?
I think if they don't fix what's wrong with Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz wins that fight hands down.
You mean mental?
What is wrong? Huh? Oh yeah, well, whether it's it must be mental, because he didn't look the same coming into the ring like he usually looks. So there was something definitely there. Hopefully it'll come out in the future.
So you think that it's more Anthony Joshua's problem than
Well, I think Anthony Joshua made it easy for Andy Ruiz because he wasn't fully there. So if he was fully there, it would probably be a different fight. And I don't know if it would be a different outcome. We would have to see.
Break it down in the rematch. What needs to be done for each fighter in order to come out successful?
Well, it's you know that like one person got to make the change. That's Anthony Joshua, because he lost. Because if they end up the same way, he's still gonna lose. But if pretty much wasn't that, you know, that's Anthony Joshua's first time somebody coning him off. They just think about it. He knocked this guy down first. This guy get up, and this guy then go backward. He started cutting him in and made him fight a little harder than he was accustomed to. And so when you ain't accustomed to fighting a back guy, having these sparring matches that your sparring partner putting this pressure on you and all that, then this is what happened. Now, great fighters make adjustments. That's what do. Great fighters make adjustments. And so if you're going to be champion one time, but to be champion two times, that you have to make some adjustments. And so, but if somebody never become better, you don't never have to make adjustments, and it's easy to do it. But think about the guys that always have to make adjustments.
He's losing weight right now. He feels like he wants to tone up more. Would you tell Ruiz that's maybe a bad idea, or go for it? I mean, because he won the title with the physique he had. Should he just keep that, or?
Well, you know, he got to make that decision for himself. Because the fact of the matter is that, you know, I guess if I'm talking anybody, if people tone, they feel good about themselves. I'm talking, you know, it just, you know, you wake up and you look in the mirror and say, oh, yeah, I'm good. And sometimes you look at the mirror, you don't even look at the mirror. They throw something over the mirror because they don't want to see themselves. I'm saying life is about confidence, and so you know, I would, you know, not so much that he was that way, but when he won the title, and I told people, I said, now you sit there, you're looking at somebody and think they can't do nothing just because how they look. Prove you wrong. It's more than what you see.
What did you think of that fight? Like, were you shocked to see?
No. I mean, you know, Ruiz is a legitimate contender. Actually, you know, fought some good fights to get to that opportunity. It wasn't given to him, and he could fight. As simple as that. He could fight, and he showed it. He wasn't afraid of him. He was still right in front of him, and it was like, to me, it looked like a mystery to Joshua, like the guy actually standing in front of me and couldn't find him because he's standing straight up, throwing punches and shooting right over top of Ruiz's head, and Ruiz is lighting his ass up. You know, I look for the repeat of that as well.
Wow, really?
Yes, I look for a repeat of that, even nastier.
Do you think Joshua took him lightly? Because Ruiz was a last-minute replacement.
Yeah, but Joshua came to get it, you know, take care of him like he did everybody else. It was just that Ruiz could fight. And when he hurt you, he knew how to get rid of you. Because most times, when you hurt a guy, if you don't drop him in that instance, it's even harder to get them once they're hurt because they're more elusive. Even more so, being hurt, you know, they're harder to try to zero in on. But Ruiz was sharp and, you know, pinpointed those shots and caught him.
Do you see any comparisons to? I mean, I know that was a big upset now, and I don't think it's anywhere near the upset that yours was. But do you see some similar comparisons where they made Ruiz to be this big underdog, even though he can fight? He had earned the right to be there.
He was an underdog, of course, but it was like what?
No, it wasn't 42. It might have been like 10 or 13 to 1 or something like that.
So
yeah,
he was definitely fight.
Yeah, but still similar circumstances. He can, I mean, like you said, he can definitely fight just like you can. And yet, people weren't giving him the credit going into the fight.
Oh yeah, because look at the physical appearance. You know, Joshua was this big 6'6", you know, silhouette of a heavyweight champion. And then Ruiz, a little short, stubby guy, 6'2", you know. And then when they compare him, Joshua was towering over him. They're like, what is this? This is gonna be a wash.
Right.
You know, no similarity like that. But other than that, it was Joshua. I mean, that Ruiz is a beast, man.
Wow. So you think it's gonna be even worse the second time around?
He's enjoying being a heavyweight champion.
He's enjoying it a lot. He's been out and about a lot. You don't think that's gonna affect him at all?
Well, he's got time to train. He's training now, so it's not like 6 weeks or 7-week training. He's gonna have well over 12 weeks of preparation. So he's gonna be ready.
You got any advice for? I know going into the fight, he talked about possibly losing some weight, you know, to be a little faster. Is that a smart idea, or should he just stick to what he did the first time?
Probably be a little more toning. You'll see a different one, definitely a difference leading into that fight. I look for him to do it again.
Wow.
All he got to do is hit that mark, and that's that chin. Because Joshua's been known to get touched, he's gonna go down. So it ain't like he can take a shot.
Wow.
You know, that's the magic button right there.
Yeah.
I know they say that it's it's easier to or it's harder to. I know they say it's easier to earn the title than it is to keep it. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, something like that.
What do you think? You think it's
both of them about the same?
Because once you get that title, you know, are you as hungry afterwards? You know, and that's why a lot of people may not, they don't keep their championship.
He's hungry because he's enjoying the fact of being the champion. So he he likes that status. He wants to always be walking around like the man, which he always will be. But he wants to maintain being the man. You know, like Phil got the belt, they're still chasing me. And I think Ruiz is that type of guy.
That's how he's talking now. Yeah.
Damn right he is. See? Yeah, so he's focused.
And he gets to fight the same guy.
Fighting the same guy again. And really the pressure's gonna be on Joshua. Because it's like, oh, that was a mistake. Yeah, I know it. Don't get him this time, right, champ? Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Well, he can hang his hat on the fact that he got the first knockdown in the fight. So maybe he can live with that.
And that's because Ruiz was cold. You know, still kind of, ooh, this is the title. You know, all of a sudden, bang, to get hurt. Like, oh, shit, that wasn't that. Let me stay focused.
Yeah, he got up pretty easily.
Yeah, he got up easily, man. Then got up and never looked back. Ripped into him, buddy.
Yeah.
Si es el campeón de verdad, Joshua will win. It's a decisive fight for both of them in the aspect of this has to be Joshua's defining moment that he really is and was, and it's just a skip in his career, a little hiccup. And Ruiz, it's obviously, he's got to prove that he's for real, legit, that it wasn't a fluke, but he picks Joshua.
You are the only man to beat Andy Ruiz. How surprised were you, or were you surprised when he beat Anthony Joshua?
I think a lot of people were surprised of how the fight did finish. I think we, as a team, knew that he had the ability to win, but we didn't expect him to win like that. And so for him, we're happy for him, and he made some history for Mexico and his family. And it was a bit of a surprise. It was a bit of a shock, but it was well deserved. And I guess with the rematch, we're just going to see who's going to come back and who's going to be more improved with the rematch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You've been in with both men. Who do you think can make the better adjustments?
Andy's the more skilled, and he's got a big background in boxing, amateur and professional. So just depends, and also Joshua's got a great team behind him, so I'm sure they'll make the adjustments they need to make in coming into the rematch.
Any chance Ruiz gonna be?
I think Ruiz won't be complacent. I think Ruiz won't give it 100% to try to retain his title. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I think they can put it in Saudi Arabia, more money for it, and they should do it.
Was there, when you knocked out Lennox Lewis to become champ, was there any complacency that set in?
It wasn't. I just probably just thought that if I hit him with the same punch, the same thing would happen. So I didn't really, I didn't make the necessary adjustments that I knew he was going to make. I just saw he was going to be the same Lennox Lewis. He made the adjustments. I did.
Because I'm only asking because it's a question of who's going to be the hungry fighter this time around.
This time, Joshua gonna make adjustments. Ruiz don't feel like he gotta make adjustments. That's why it should always be a third fight. Right now. Okay, you got to adjust. I got to adjust. Now let's go. Both of us know everything about each other. Let's go. So I think Ruiz gonna be ready for it.
Did you see in that first fight that Joshua wasn't right mentally? Some people said that afterwards.
I don't know how somebody saw it. He was physically strong. Was he mentally all right when he dropped him? Because he sure dropped him first. And if he was mentally unstable, he sure was enough. He was stable enough to knock him down first. And most people he knocked down first. That's the beginning of the end.
Right.
So, what's the mentality? If he'd went on and crushed him, he wouldn't have got down from that first knockout. He wouldn't have got up from that first knockout. But he had been mentally unstable. The problem is he got up and he fought back hard. That's enough to break anybody's mentality.
What about his conditioning, though, Rock?
He looked good. He always looked good.
But he looked like he was tired by that third or fourth round.
When you start getting knocked down, you get knocked down a couple times, you'll be tired too.
But is that because all that weightlifting he does, and all is he too big?
He got knocked down against Klitschko. He was doing the same weightlifting. Right. Got back and finished the fight. So you can't blame it on the weightlifting when something goes wrong. When the same model has been so successful for you your whole career.
So what adjustments do you think he makes what's he got to make for what
he got to move, he got to box, he got to use his height. He can't sit there and trade with the guy. He's got to move. He's got to box, he got to make it more difficult for Ruiz to hit it. And if he don't do that, probably going to be the same result.
Do you think he does pull that off, makes the adjustments? I mean,
have to. That's the only way to win.
Wait, did you think highly of Joshua before that happened? Were you surprised?
I didn't think highly of him, but I thought highly of Andy Ruiz also.
Right.
I sparred Andy Ruiz years ago. I knew he was tough.
Is the plan still to fight the Ruiz?
Yeah, this opponent is also good. Also very good boxer. But I think I'm much better, and I wait now the winner against Joshua and Ruiz.
Who's going to win that fight? Sorry? Who's going to win that fight, do you think?
I don't know. When Ruiz is serious, prepare, maybe win second time.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that's the fight you want the most? I know you're the mandatory, but you prefer to fight the winner of that, either Ruiz or Joshua next after Booker?
Yeah, after Booker. So I'm concentration about this fight with Booker, and that's it. After that, yeah.
Where you at on that? Who do you think wins the rematch?
Well, it's a little close, a little early for me, but I think it's going to be a great fight. I mean, Ruiz showed up. We're going to see if Joshua's going to be in better shape for this fight. I mean, I really like to get closer to the fight, to be honest with you, so I can make a decision on, you know what I'm saying, who I'm going to go with. But I want to get close to the fight, look at the odds of the fighters, look at the body of the fighter, then I know who is serious, who really put it in. You feel me?
Now, if you were Ruiz coming off a win the way he won in such dominant fashion, I mean, going into the fight, what would you be? Would you feel confident? Would you feel like keeping things the same way? Would you be trying to adjust your strategy based on what you think Joshua's going to do?
Yeah.
What do you do if you're Ruiz?
I'm doing all what you just said. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna look at him from a standpoint where I've already just made a decision. I see that Joshua looks like he's losing weight, right? So what I'm thinking is he gonna move a lot. So I'm gonna be on my toes, ready to stalk him. Let's go, champ. Because if I'm Ruiz, if I'm Joshua, I'm gonna be keeping that jab on the distance. But I just can't do that. I gotta be able to do this, move side to side. Side to side, you know what I mean? Use that, how you be able to use that ring and keep him out there. But you got to beat the champion. You know what I'm saying? So now Ruiz is champion. So how do you beat a man by backing up boxing?
Do you think that tough? Like the people say that based on Joshua's build, his musculature, that having that kind of build, he might not be able to get out of the way. That Ruiz will jump in too quick. His hands are too quick. Do you think he would have to do something, maybe trim down a little bit in this fight?
That's what I think he's already doing. To be honest with you, I think he's already doing that, and I think that that's what's happening. You know.
How serious does Andy Ruiz take this fight now? Because he's a multi-millionaire overnight.
I'm not around him to understand how serious he takes it, but I'm quite sure he's not taking it lightly. You know, he's probably just doing what he's used to doing. It got him to this point. You know, it got him, you know, through his career the way it was. I don't think he might want to change anything. He might want to up some things up, but he might not want to, you know, remove anything. You know, so I can't really tell exactly, you know, where he is, but I'm quite sure Joshua is way more focused. You know, Joshua is like, wow, like I got to get this back, and you know, Joshua's a cool dude, you know, and I'm quite sure he's going to see to it that, you know, that he get what he what he deserves, and he gets his belts back.
But what about from a psychological perspective? There are a lot of rumours that he wasn't well, but we don't know that. AJ says he was fine. But going to a rematch straight away, it doesn't happen very often. You go in a rematch and you're successful. But when he goes in that rematch, and let's say Andy Ruiz hits him once, does that psychologically affect the fighter?
Psychologically,
you start thinking about the first fight?
But yeah, I mean, it could. It's possible, very possible, maybe more highly possible than less likely. But you know, that all depends on the type of fighter, you know, the type of mentality, the strength of your focus. You know, a very focused fighter is, you know, is a fighter that's very hard to beat mentally. You know, and then, you know, it's fighting. So you know, you already seen the worst. So therefore, you know, when the worst comes up at that point again, you know, it's like it's nothing that you haven't seen before. So it's just like, okay, I know what to do now. So depending on the strength and the amount of focus that he's put into this training camp, put into the loss, put into getting it back, put into all of these things, that will be the difference. And a person like Joshua, he seems to be a very focused individual. He seems to be a very disciplined individual. And I'm quite sure that, you know, that wouldn't be the case of, you know, him crumbling and falling back once those type of things reoccur. You know, and I'm, you know, it's a game plan. You know, it's just, this is what champions do at the same time, and we also got to understand, you know, it's fighting, it's a sport, you know, and some situations you have to revisit 100 times, and maybe that 101 time you'd be like, I'm not gonna let this happen now one more time. So you know, it might not have to happen twice for Joshua. You know, it may have only happened once, and that was in the previous fight. So, but we never know. Can't think for other fighters. I know I can think. You know, I can speak for myself. You know, psychologically on a widespread, but who knows what's going on inside of their heads? And I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing the fight. I'm really looking forward to supporting the fight. Yeah, and it's going to be a great fight.
What's your outlook on this rematch between your boy Andy and Anthony Joshua?
It's a good fight, man. I can't wait to see it. You know what I mean? It's heavyweight boxing. I don't like to predict anything.
Yeah.
May the best man win, but I'm also going for my boy Andy. You know what I mean? Like that's my guy. So personally, I'll be going for Andy.
Did you ever think that people would say Anthony Joshua would have to stay on the outside, use his jab, and stay on his bike? He's always been a guy who outmuscles people. In this scenario, people are saying he needs to be on his bike. Isn't that crazy how the roles have turned?
Yeah, I mean, styles make fights, you know, so he has to stick to whatever's going to be beneficial to him, you know what I mean? Because, you know, everything's different. You know, you can't muscle around everybody, you know? So he got to do what's best for him, man.
And Andy's got to close the distance, and he's a master at doing that. We know that Anthony Joshua's had conditioning issues throughout his career. Do you see this fight going 12?
I don't know, man. I don't think no heavyweight. When's the last time you seen a big heavyweight fight go to distance? Well, Tyson Fury and Wilder, but I mean, he really didn't beat the count. If you look at it, they kind of let him get up, and he kind of it was over. The fight was over. Yeah, they did. The fight was over.
And I don't know, were you talking about the Wilder-Ortiz fight? You don't think that fight's going past 6?
Yeah, I mean, heavyweight boxing, man, it don't go to distance. We some hitters, man. Everybody in the division, the top people in the division is some hitters. So I don't see them going the distance.
One punch could change the fight.
Yeah,
right?
that changes all the momentum. You know, one punch is all it takes. Really, in any division, you know what I mean? Any shot.
But it's heightened in the heavyweight division.
But it's heightened in the heavyweights, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, may the best man win.
You have a winner and a prediction on that fight?
I gotta see what Joshua will come out. You know, Joshua looked like not himself, like he doesn't want no more. And Ruiz looked very hungry, you know. So he put on a great fight, and I think he'll do it again, you know. But we gotta see.
Do you think what would be the adjustments that Joshua would probably need to do going into the second fight?
I don't think he should let us. He should be running away from the smaller man. Like he was boxing instead of step 2 the guy, which I think he should do. You know, step 2 Ruiz instead of running around trying to box him.
What did you think of that fight, and what do you think about the rematch?
I think that Ruiz did some great things with Joshua. He kept him off balance. Joshua hit him, dropped him. He got up, and then he was throwing 10, 12, 15 punches at a clip. Joshua was never used to that. And in fact, I looked in the corner for Joshua. He was looking at his corner like, can you help me? No, you got to fight now. And so, who knows? That's a great question is, can Joshua recover from that and come back and have somebody in his corner that's going to teach him?
You mean mentally?
Yeah, mentally.
Right.
Someone to teach him some different skills. And listen, Ruiz knows what it feels like to become a champ now. He wants that. So he's going to be a better fighter because of it. And that's what's going to make the fight good. And plus, they're not going to London. They're going to Saudi Arabia, where Joshua's doesn't feel like his home. It's not his hometown. It's away. So it's a 50-50 fight. And I can't wait to see it. I'm on Sirius XM, 156 every Monday, every Friday, from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we talk about it all the time. Listen, the heavyweight division is growing. You got a lot of beasts out there. Fury, Wilder, Joshua, Ruiz, you got Joyce, you got Hunter. That's right. And you got a couple of kids from African kids.
Oh, Ajagba.
Ajagba is a beast. And he's a young kid and he's got some skills. And another tough guy's got all knockouts. So I'm excited about the heavyweight division. It's been at a low for a while. The Klitschko's had nobody to fight. They're all cruiserweights. Right. Now we're coming back to guys are fighting again. So I'm excited.
Who do you think is the number 1 heavyweight?
The number 1 heavyweight, you know, it's between, I would say right now, between Wilder and Fury. Now Ruiz the tough guy too. We got to see what happens to him. I mean, I knew he was going to test Joshua. I didn't think he was going to beat him. But he did. He taught us all a lesson.
Now, you mentioned his trainer, you know, being able to teach him how to get in there and
make adjustments.
Make adjustments for the rematch.
That's what great fighters do.
Lennox Lewis said the same thing, and Joshua took it kind of hard. He called him a clown and everything. Do you agree with him calling Lennox Lewis a clown, do you think he should have gave him a pass?
Listen, he told him something true. I thought the same thing. Like, he's not changing anybody in his corner. Bring somebody else in. Or I was in London. I was doing a book signing. I came out with a book called Gentleman Jerry. I tried to get a hold of him. I want to sit down and tell him, listen, you got to get another guy in that's going to teach you some different things to adapt to that guy. Don't let that guy punch so much. When you throw your stuff off, get a hold of him. Don't let him get off 10, 15, 20 punches in a clip, because you can't take that.
What about that muscle mass? He's a really big guy. You usually don't see boxers carry that much muscle. What do you
He's still athletic. He's still athletic too. And I think he did bulk up. I don't know what made him do that. I think he's supposed to be coming in a little more lean this time around. Listen, he's going to try everything. But like I said, he's not in his hometown. He's in Saudi Arabia, so it's a 50-50 fight. And Ruiz is going to fight to keep that belt.
Now, we know how guys bulk up. How do you come down and still train and still be ready for a fight? How do you lose?
You know, I don't know. Here's the deal. Like, I don't know. You can put on 7 pounds of muscle a year. Joshua put on a lot of muscle, a lot of pounds of muscle. So hopefully he has a good training regimen. They're going to teach him how to bring it down and stay strong and a little faster.
Do you think the climate in the Middle East, is that will be a deciding factor?
Hot as hell. But hopefully there's going to be some type of fans.
Well, they said in December, it's almost like California. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be like,
listen, you're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're fighting for the heavyweight champion. You got to be prepared. Go to Palm Springs. Go someplace where it's 120 degrees and train. That's what I used to do.
Do you think Ruiz has potential to be the Buster Douglas of this era? You know, he got that big win. Is he going to be able to hold on?
He was undefeated. He lost to Parker in a close fight.
Right.
For the championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he belongs there. I thought that maybe that Joshua would beat him, but I knew that Ruiz was going to test him, and he sure did. He got off the canvas and dropped him 4 times to stop him. We're going to have to see. Obviously, I think when you win the title, you become 30% better.
Do you think Joshua needed a soft touch before the rematch, or you agree with him going straight towards that immediate rematch?
You know what? I don't think he should have taken his fight right away.
Right.
I think he should have got out and fought somebody, not an easy touch, but another fighter.
Right.
If you trust yourself, go in with a good fighter. And he didn't do that. He's taking this shot. Listen, I hope he's got somebody in his corner teaching him some new things.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 fight. You know, it's really, you know, when these fights, when it's like this, it depends on the day. You know, it comes really down to, because it's real defined, you know, it depends on the strategies and you know, the mentalities of that day, you know what I'm saying, and who's going to implement it the most. You know, because they both have great abilities and they're both capable of beating each other. You know, if you did they fought 10 times, you know, it would be a toss-up. It's like rolling the dice every time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you'll be able to start to see which one is better. But I think as far as skill-wise, I think Ruiz is better skilled. But you know, Anthony has so much athleticism, so much attributes that go along with his skills, and he's not, you know, he has skills as well. So it just depends on his mindset and his mentality of that night.
Now that the rematch is going to happen, what do you think about that fight?
Honestly, I think Ruiz wins the rematch if it's on the even playing field. If it's on the even playing field, Ruiz wins the rematch. If it's not on the even playing field, then it's a pick-em. Then it's a toss-up. That's my honest opinion.
Here's the thing, though. When it's two heavyweights the way they punch, it's probably not going to go to the cards, right? So how do you get home cooking if the judges are probably not
deeper than the cards? It's a little deeper than the cards. I ain't even thinking scorecards. I'm not thinking scorecards are coming into play anyway. But in order for me to give my honest opinion, if there's an even playing field and both these fighters are on even terms, Ruiz is gonna beat Anthony Joshua. His feet are faster, his hands are faster. It looks like he has a better boxing IQ. And you know, Anthony Joshua failed to use his advantages. He failed to use his reach. He failed to use his height. He rushed. He behaved like an inexperienced fighter. And you know, I I don't want to say that I wished it on him. I wanted that to happen, but I called it. Right here on FightHype, I called it. And like I said before, if they on the even playing field, Ruiz gonna beat Anthony Joshua. But if it's a little tilted, then I give it a 50-50 shot.
But you talk about reach and experience. Ain't them things that could be adjusted for a rematch for AJ?
I mean, I don't think that. I just don't think he's gonna beat Ruiz. I don't think that. Mentally, he's just. I don't know about him. The way that he reacted after he lost his title, did it mean anything to you? Did it mean that much to you? I mean, I would be devastated. I would be absolutely distraught. But that's he's not me, and everybody doesn't react the same. But somebody that I love boxing. I love it to my core. And to lose, not only just to lose, but to lose like that in that fashion, like you just really basically just gave up. And you didn't only give up on yourself, you gave up on your country, you gave up on all your fans, like you gave up on the world, you represent the world when you're in there. So it's go out on your shield. I watched my father fight through a gargoyle on his head.
Against
So
Holyfield.
I don't hear nothing about nobody quitting. That's not how I was taught, that's not what I was shown to do, or he tapped out. He tapped out once and 9 times out of 10 he gonna tap out again. You're gonna turn around and fight the same guy that just made you quit? It's not a good idea. I would have tried to get the titles back some other way, or took some more fights, or did something. But I don't think I think that Ruiz will win the rematch if it's on the even playing field. And if not, we'll see about a third fight. We can get a third fight on the even playing field. Might turn into a 4th fight. You never know.
What do you think of the division? Like today, they just announced Andy Ruiz and Joshua are fighting again. December 7th, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Man, I think it's fantastic. I think Ruiz is going to win it again because styles make fights. And I just think that everything that he's bringing to the table is everything that a guy like Joshua doesn't want. He doesn't need to have a guy that's short and stubby and that likes to bang. It ain't that he's short and stubby. He's just compared to the new standards of the heavyweight division. Everybody's 6'7", but just to see a guy his height bringing some true boxing skills. He's throwing combinations, something that you don't really see anymore in boxing period in any weight division, other than 2s and 3s. But you don't see 5, 6, 7, 8 like he runs his hands and he's out of the heavyweight. It's a beautiful thing. Great time for the heavyweight division. When everybody was giving up on the heavyweight division, a lot of people didn't like the Vladimir Klitschko's reign. Not to say him as a fighter, but his reign, because every fight was pretty much the same. Box, box, box. I got him hurt. Okay, let me jump on him now. People like to see two people that's willing to go out and go at it from the go, and that's what makes an American fighter an American fighter, is the fact that we like to scrap, we get it in. So I like to see the division is returning back to the day of its glory, when guys are now coming out there saying, look, I may not be the tallest, I may not be the fastest, I may not even be the hardest punching, but guess what? I'm coming to get that title. People coming to get the title now. They're not fighting for the title, they're coming to get the title, and it makes a big difference in the mentality of the fighters.
What does Joshua have to do different in a rematch to get a win?
Joshua has to lean out his weight. He got to be more flexible. He has to be more fluent. He's got to. I think he probably needs to switch trainers. He did not use his height, his reach. He didn't use his strength. He decided he was going to fight a guy based upon his past success, which is, I'm a big guy with muscles and I can punch. He don't understand the mentality of the average Hispanic fighter. They tough. They can take punches. You'll never really meet a Hispanic fighter that don't have a good chin, and if he gets knocked down, he's going to get up and fight again. That's what makes the timing so perfect for a guy like Andy Ruiz to come into the division, being the first Mexican heavyweight champion. It's wonderful, man, in a time where we got all the diversity, where now you got European heavyweights competing with used to be only the Americans had the world heavyweight title, and now anybody can have the title. So I just really believe that it's the great time. You couldn't have a better time, especially with all the political things going on, with a president that clearly does not like minorities. You know what I'm saying? And so to have a Mexican world heavyweight champion is incredible, and I love it. I hope that he goes far.
Can Joshua recover? Can he win the rematch, or do you think mentally?
No, he definitely will recover. You know, I know him. He's a champ at the end of the day. Maybe he did a mistake. He lost his fight. Everybody trying to say that Joshua lost the fight, but I want to say that Ruiz won, and that's totally different. Joshua will work hard, and he will want to have his belt back in the UK, so you have to watch it.
We were watching the fight, and they had the 3 national anthems. You know, it's taking a while. I saw Ruiz in the ring, nice sweat. Joshua looked dry as a bone. It didn't look right. Did you notice anything? Like, it wasn't right with Joshua when the fight started, or did it look the same as always?
You know, if he knocks Ruiz out, nobody will like talk about anything. So now he lost, so we're trying to like figure it out what was right, what was wrong. He just lose, okay? He just lost, and he just needs to work hard and come back.
I think you sparred Andy Ruiz. He's fighting Joshua in a rematch. What do you remember from the sparring, and what do you think about the rematch?
Well, the thing is that, like I told everybody, I said that Ruiz. I told when they were getting ready to go in, I said, look, let me tell you something. I sparred with that guy. I said, a 19-year-old kid. I said, man, I knew he had it. I said, look, I said, I hope Joshua ain't taking this guy for granted because of how his body looks. I said, he may have that little neck and that little round head, but he can fight. And so this fight happened that way. Now, I think that the difference is now is that now when they said with no excuses, okay, so you got to say it. Anthony Joshua did knock him down first. He just didn't finish him. Now, then all of a sudden, he get knocked down 3 times and all this. Now, at the point of, I realize now, it'll show you that in life, if somebody you chose, you thought couldn't fight because you're looking at the body. Now you find that this man can fight. Now, can he make the adjustment? And it'll show you how great Anthony Joshua will. Then whatever happens, you'll know. I'm talking the other guy don't have to make no change. But, but he needs to know he don't want to get hit that right hand like that again.
Would you want to fight Andy Ruiz if you were a pro fighter, a champ? Or?
No, I'm not. I don't want to fight nobody.
No, you were still fighting.
No, if I was still fighting because I feel that I can beat everybody.
Okay.
That's the whole big point of me fighting. Me feel that I can beat everybody. Once I realized, after sparring him, when that camp was over, I realized I don't never want to fight that guy. And so he had to be great because the fact of the matter, I remember, I said, no, I'm retired. I did my last fight after that. I knocked my guy out. Then after that, I realized I don't ever want to have to spot somebody and hope that I'm going to dodge them the whole time because I ain't going to want to fight them. But, youth is his strength.
Yeah.
And I guess, 19 years old, I was 46. I said, if somebody chasing you down like this, that when we sparred, you know what he doing? Cutting the ring off of me. He put me in a situation that I got to square up on him. And he hit hard then. I'm talking about 19, he hit hard then. I'm just ain't gonna tell him. I know he gonna fight his same fight.
For in the Joshua Ruiz rematch.
Who do I think is gonna win?
No, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for both of them, man. It's gonna be a great fight. I know both guys. Both guys are great fighters. We all knew on the boxing insiders. We know what Ruiz could do, and Joshua. I don't think he was fully expecting to test that. Well, you know what I mean? It's you know, he didn't prepare for him. He was preparing for Miller. And then, you know, I've had that happen before where the opponents change and you kind of lose your you know, the same type of momentum and anxiety that you was thinking about for this one guy. I know Joshua had a lot of build up for the Miller fight because there was words exchanged. So it changed when it was with Ruiz, and then he went into the fight. He might have been chilling a little bit too much. And then, so I think for the next fight, Joshua's going to prepare harder. He's going to train harder. He's going to train smarter. He's going to train to get his title back. And I think Ruiz, he's going to have to fully brace the moment and look, I won the title. I made a lot of money. Things looking good, but you know what? It could all lose. I think it'll all be taken away. And even the money might be able to come in from investments and all that, but being heavyweight champion in the world, it's not like it. So I think that he's better, you know, be ready to keep that title that night.
Shen, you think it seems like Anthony's losing weight? He looks a little slimmer. And
yes.
And you think that's the right strategy for him? That's the right route?
Yeah, I think for this fight, he's gonna have to move. He's gonna have those legs. He's gonna have to be able to box Ruiz for 24 rounds because that's the pressure that's gonna be able to come on. He's gonna have to be able to box for 24 rounds on his toes and using his jab, not running, but just using his jab, using a hard jab, a hard right hand, and another jab. And he caught him with that hook. And, you know, he dropped him, but that ain't the punch for this man. You got to keep him off you. You got to box him and keep him at a distance. If he's able to, he's going to have to fight him like Lewis fought Tua. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to jab, right hand jab, and keep him at a distance. And if some open up, catch him or go back on that jab. You know what I mean? But prepare for a 24-round fight.
Do you feel that, say he hurts Andy, right? Like just like last time, he kind of went in for the kill, and that's kind of where when he got caught up. Is that going to be difficult when you have, you know, the arena full of 1,000 fans screaming because you hurt someone, you got to attack them, right?
Nah, it ain't going to be difficult because he's going to learn from the last fight. He's going to be like, you know what? I ain't spending all my money in one party. I got to, other clubs is open too. If he spend his money early, he's going to be out of gas. He's going to be a long walk home, champ. So he's going to be like, nah, he's going to be smart. If I hurt him, I got to save a little bit of money, but I got to be smart. I got to be a thinker. I can't not take advantage of the moment.
You know the big one next weekend, Joshua and Ruiz rematch. Who's gonna win that fight?
Like I said before, if Andy can stop him like he did the first time, Andy's gonna win. If they go to decision, they're gonna jerk him to Saudi Arabia and give it to AJ. There's a reason why they're fighting in Saudi. Drug testing and protocols are not stricter like there's in other countries, and that's why they're going over there right now. So, like I said, Dylan White, a lot of people weren't able to fight, but they're going to fight in Saudi. So it's a little giddy, but I hope Andy pulls it out.
And Big Baby, man, everyone's talking about Joshua's head psychologically. What do you think about all that heading into the fight?
We're going to see, man. I always say, I know once he pushes buttons enough, he's going to punk out. I always said somebody finally did it, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the rematch.
And lastly, Jarrell, man, you said if he can get him inside the distance, he'll get the fight. He can't get a decision. Yeah. Do you think he will get him inside the 12 rounds, Ruiz?
It's 50-50. But I think if AJ doesn't box, Andy gonna get him.
Can AJ really box like that?